Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce just told Fox.
Every sovereign nation has a right to make sure that they know who's in their nation and if they are safe to be here, and for the people who want to come to understand that there are expectations when you get here so that we don't have to take your visa and remove you.
This says the Trump administration and Harvard spar in court over attempts to block the university from enrolling new international students and freezing federal grants. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Well, 4 years ago, still in the throes of the pandemic, getting the COVID vaccine was a big deal. Times have changed. The Centers for Disease Control wants fewer Americans to get those shots.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says COVID vaccines for healthy children and pregnant women are no longer recommended, removing the shots from the CDC's vaccine schedule.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
Kennedy announced the changes in a video on X, joined by the FDA commissioner and the director of the National Institutes of Health. A CDC advisory panel is set to meet next month to make recommendations about fall vaccines. Last week, the FDA announced routine COVID vaccine approvals will be limited to seniors and those with underlying health risk. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Another failure for SpaceX testing its new Starship rocket that blasted off in Texas.
Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket Starship launched but tumbled out of control and broke apart, spinning toward an uncontrolled landing in the Indian Ocean. Fuel leaks are being cited as one of the causes. SpaceX later confirmed the incident, saying the spacecraft experienced, quote, a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Musk said in a post on X that it was a big improvement over the last 2 demos, which ended in flames over the Atlantic. He also says he plans for a Starship to launch every 3 to 4 weeks for the next 3 flights. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, not moving much the day after a big surge for the Dow and the NASDAQ. Now to the NBA playoffs.
That's it. The Indiana Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals.
The final call on TNT. Indiana beat New York 130-121, giving the Pacers a 3-1 lead over the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. In hockey, Edmonton takes a 3-1 lead in the NHL Western Conference Final. The Oilers beat the Dallas Stars 4-1. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is a Wednesday morning. It's May 28th, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. It's News Radio for South Texas. Check out that Brownsville radar. There's some color to it. We've got plenty of rain, nasty thundershower activity in ranch country. For show producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby to talk about all this rain in the forecast for today. Federal Emergency Management Agency opening several disaster recovery centers in South Texas. The decision coming after President Trump signed a disaster declaration offering some federal assistance for damage caused by winds and flooding back in late March. In Hidalgo County, if you have any questions about this, you can visit the Weslaco Economic Development Corporation office. And our family in Cameron County, residents there can go find out more information at the Harlingen Convention Center. Yes, as you heard on Fox News, the 9th launch of SpaceX Starship prototype, it did not come back in a controlled reentry to the Indian Ocean. Flew farther than it had during the 2 previous missions, but again failed to make a controlled reentry. Also, the attempt to release a payload failed when a door did not open properly, and that recycled super heavy booster that looked really good on takeoff exploded before landing in the Gulf of America. Another launch is expected within the next 3 to 4 weeks. President Trump's one big, beautiful bill has something for everyone, including farmers.
Texas farmers cheering Congress's approval of the tax and spending plan, which includes more money for farm safety net programs.
This is an important step to assure the viability of American agriculture going forward.
Gary Joyner with the Texas Farm Bureau says that safety net provides financial protection against losses due to natural disasters like droughts and floods. That helps them stay in business and continue producing healthy food. It's something they wanted in the Farm Bill, which is still delayed over food stamp funding.
Lawmakers at the state capitol successfully passed legislation that would put an end to gun buyback programs.
The Texas Senate passed House Bill 3053 along party lines. It would block cities and local municipalities from having gun buyback programs. State Senator Bob Hall sponsored it.
This bill ensures that there's no safe harbor for criminals who would use a buyback program to dispose of evidence.
Hall also said destroying the guns is a waste of money. Senate Democrats called the bill an example of big government. State Senator Jose Menendez.
This bill is just government tying the hands of local elected officials, and you're saying that we as the state know better than you do.
The bill is now headed to Governor Abbott's desk. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Legislation that bans all products that contain THC in Texas, awaiting the governor's signature. The state Senate approved a House version of this legislation this past weekend that will make possession of hemp products carry a stricter penalty of 1 year in jail. Elon Musk saying that he has to be super focused on the company that he runs, or the companies that he runs, like X, Tesla, and SpaceX. In an X post this past weekend, Elon said that things like recent outages at X showing that he needs to pay more attention to the companies that he's running. The time is 7:08. It is Accu with the time, and I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Feed, certified dealer for Purina Feed, is Martin Farm and Ranch. And with all the scorching forecasts coming up this summer, make sure that your cattle get the nutrition that they need with Purina Feed. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. Take a look at that radar. What do we have all the excitement right now?
Yeah, I'm certainly looking at it. So Raymondville, McAllen is just in it. And then also areas to the west. I have to use my phone because my computer one is acting up. And this one's also more high quality.
Good. Maybe even faster on the phone.
Exactly. Right. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning going for another 35 minutes. This is for, let's see here. We got southeastern parts of Kennedy County. We got east central Hidalgo, northwestern Cameron, and Willacy County as well. That goes until 7:45 because of very strong winds. Nothing officially reported yet. There isn't any reports of strong winds, but the threat could be up to 70 and also 3/4 inch sized hail. And the storm movement, if I can stop zooming in, and again, doing this all one-handed. Normally I do this two-handed. It's moving pretty slow right now at around 10 to 15.
Yeah.
But the winds inside are stronger than that.
General movement seems to be just slightly north, maybe mostly eastward. And it's like a wave. It's left and right. Just don't know where it's going to go. So some rain for Edinburgh, areas just north of McAllen, ranch country north of us. Yeah, Raymondville getting lots of rain at the moment. So this will be the general pattern for the entire day, like on and off, like waves of maybe some rain on and off, or what's the plan for a day?
This round in the morning is pretty much it. We may see a couple more pop up in the wake of it, just because that's still going to be unstable atmosphere. Anything when we get to peak heating could reignite some, but the models are really, kind of, I guess the word that we use is bullish on it.
Okay. For tomorrow and the next day, you still got rain in the forecast?
I do. For tomorrow, we kind of looking at the possibility, and this is also going to be very contingent upon what the atmosphere does, if it can destabilize. Strong thunderstorms at first, then general in the afternoon. Now, again, it is contingent upon what this system takes away or leaves behind for the next round.
All right, Bill. Texas travel, we good? Or we also have nasty thunder shower activity north of us?
Dallas is good today, not tomorrow. That's where we could see some strong storms. And then shifting gears to Houston, today, tomorrow, and tomorrow night could be under not only heavy rainfall, but also severe weather too. San Antonio, some severe weather today, tonight, and into tomorrow.
All right, Bill. Let's take a look at the menu. It is National Beef Burger Day.
I actually had beef tips just an hour ago.
Put it between two slices of bread. Boom, you're celebrating today, Beef Burger Day. And some brisket, also is National Brisket.
Yum.
There was, in fact, in Texas news, I lost it in the stack, but I remember the name. It's in Seguin, Texas, Freddie. The Burnt Bean. Texas Monthly Magazine saying that's the number one barbecue. Yeah, well, it doesn't sound very savory, right? Burnt beans, but it's a burnt bean. That's the number one barbecue joint, according to Texas Monthly Magazine and their latest write-up. All right, pal. We'll call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on the Valley's Morning News. Let's see, other couple of local notes. Hidalgo School District has selected a finalist for their open superintendent position, a name very familiar to us in McAllen and in Harlingen. J.A. Gonzalez was picked by the school board earlier this week as the lone finalist. Mercedes Schools, they will need to find a new superintendent. The district's school board accepted Benjamin Clinton's resignation during a special meeting. Clinton was arrested May 16th in Los Fresnos on a charge of driving while intoxicated. Check this out, Freddie. Legendary norteño group, Los Tigres del Norte. Not to be confused with the Detroit Tigers. They're also from the north, but these are Los Tigres del Norte. Now have a street named after them in New York City. Really? Yeah. Los Tigres del Norte Way. No me digas way. Los Tigres del Norte Way. They couldn't name it lane or street or they had to name it way. Okay. Officially, that's the one of the streets in New York. So the group posted on Instagram a picture and video of themselves at the street that named after them. Yeah.
If anybody has like a snail mail, you have to write fit all that into the little side of the where we put the letter.
What I was right if you still do that, right?
Yeah, if you still
anybody sending a letter, I was thinking, well, now that they've received this national recognition, why not submit them as candidates for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I was just thinking about that too. Might as well. Everybody else is in there.
Everything else is thrown in there. Might as well throw the Los Tigres del Norte into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Time is 7:14. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. I'm going to share with you a conversation I had earlier this morning with our fire chief in McAllen. Got a new fire station in North McAllen, fire station number 8. And, the classification, the rating of our fire department would have an effect on what you pay for insurance. Did you know that? I learned something new this morning, and you will as well. Depending on how they're classified, how they're rated, our fire department, we might have a chance to save a little bit on home insurance. That conversation next on 710 KURV.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Join the Radio United team. We are looking for a junior marketing consultant for our stations in the RGV. Are you passionate, competitive, and love communication? This is your chance to be part of our marketing team. Requirements: minimum 1 year of experience in outside sales, communication and negotiation skills, valid driver's license, bilingual preferred, legally authorized to work in the United States, and a few more. Send your resume today to humanresources@radiounited.com. Radio United is an equal opportunity employer.
Charlie Kirk here, host of The Charlie Kirk Show, inviting you to stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up a little later on this morning starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. This radio station, 710 KURV, home to the Astros. Boy, I hope they didn't just score every single run they're going to score for the next 2 weeks last night. They won big last night. So the Astros have a day game today. Right, like 1 p.m. Okay, so it was a short series with the A's, 1 p.m. broadcast. So they might still be playing during the drive home. Zach and Davis will give you updates. Astros baseball on 710 KURV, made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and the Mission Economic Development Office. It's a field day. We're going to the fire station today, like little kids going to the fire station. Juan, Gloria is our fire chief for McAllen in studio.
Good morning.
Here at KURV. 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. We do 710 KURV live on X, YouTube, and Facebook, so you can join us there. Also at Radio Para Mí. Got a new fire station at Tres Lagos, right, Chief?
That is correct.
Yeah, so describe it for me. Any new fancy equipment you want to show off and tell us about?
It's a beautiful building. I mean, what can we say, right? Every time we get literally it's a new home, and so new home, new equipment, new apparatus. Firefighters are very happy to be there and covering this northern portion of our city.
Yeah, Tres Lagos, sprawling neighborhood community.
That is correct.
North McAllen. How many folks does that one station provide?
So that one station on a daily basis, you have anywhere between 3 to 4 individuals. Is one crew, one fire engine. And so that is composed of the lieutenant, the officer, the driver, and
the neighbor. How many people do we have?
Exactly, wouldn't have that number. But like you mentioned, I mean, it's a community that has grown tremendously since its inception, and it continues to grow. I mean, all you need to do is take a quick drive, go a little bit further west, and that whole area, it's part of a master plan community that basically. Ground was, broken, and the project got started about 10 years ago, and so it keeps on growing.
We help each other out, though, whether it's North Mission, Alton area, Edinburgh.
That is correct.
Edinburgh area.
That is correct. I mean, there is a mutual aid agreement that has been in place here in the Rio Grande Valley for many, many years. But at the same time, it is very important, and it is our responsibility to make sure that we provide proper fire protection coverage for all of the city limits of our community here in McAllen.
You were explaining to me off air the certain rating
that is correct.
We have, and I'm going to school on that one. I had to stop because we had to start this conversation.
Yeah,
but I did not know. It sounded to me like there is a direct correlation between insurances for
that is
homes and buildings,
and
how FDs are rated based on the size, right? Like per capita service or something like that?
Well, the way it works is the Insurance Service Office, as we know it, the ISO, provides different ratings or classifications for fire departments based on their capabilities, right? And so there is so many things, that come into the picture, but basically, based on the size of your community and your population and the type of buildings that you have, if you have, mostly residential, if you have commercial, if you have, multi-story buildings, is what dictates what kind of protection you should have, not just in the type of apparatus that you should have, but also the amount of staffing that you should have. And so when it comes to that, City of McAllen, we are a Class 2 fire department. We're just a tad, just a couple of points away from crossing the threshold to becoming a Class 1, which is one thing that our mayor, our city leaders, our city manager are working diligently to, try to get the McAllen Fire Department, the city of McAllen, to a Class 1 ISO.
Okay, so that is a goal.
Absolutely, absolutely,
so
it is a goal.
Personnel in comparison to population size for us, right?
To a certain extent, yes. Now, one of the things that the ISO requires is that, going back to the different type of fire trucks, if you have a conventional fire engine should cover an area of 1.5 road miles. It's not so much its circumference, but it's the actual road miles that you cover, right? And then when it comes to ladder trucks, the big, heavy, long, ladder trucks that go up in the air,
the big, pretty ones everybody wants for Christmas.
Yeah, the big, pretty ones, right? ISO requires that a ladder truck has a coverage area of 2.5 road miles. And so when you plug in those numbers, you look at our city limits, you look at the current location of every single fire station, and then you look at those fire stations that have a ladder truck versus a conventional fire engine, and you overlay those road miles, the 1.5 and the 2.5, it allows you to see right away on the map what areas you may be lacking coverage. And that is part of the goal to start closing in those gaps and making sure that you have stations there. What those road miles, especially for the conventional fire engine, what the 1.5 mile basically tells you is that there's also some other requirements in terms of response. How soon is the first fire engine required to be at the scene of, per se, a residential structure fire. And so response times, of course, when it comes to emergencies, every second count. And so it is very important that you have that proper coverage of every gap that you may have in your city. And so adding Station 8 on the Tres Lagos area helps us further cover those gaps. And we may still have some gaps. I mean, we all know that every community is not perfectly round or perfectly square. There is always all kinds of different lines in our city limits. Yeah. And so, we position our fire stations and our staffing and the type of trucks that we put in those stations strategically. We put them there to be able to cover these gaps and to make sure that we have the right amount of staff and the right type of apparatus, the right type of equipment for the area that we're covering.
They recently opened their new fire station, number 8 in Tres Lagos, North McAllen, or Fire Chief for McAllen, Juan Gloria, joining us. Does it mean for me as a homeowner in McAllen, does it mean anything that the insurance gods that rate our FD as, you said, a rating 2 or Class 2?
That's correct.
We're getting really close to Class 1. Does it mean anything for my insurance rates in the future, or is it just a rating for the fire department? Because when we hit rating 1, Class 1,
yes,
we're safer, right?
Yeah,
the insurance companies are good.
That is correct. So,
right?
So in simple terms, if you are in a community that is a Class 1, or as high as possible of a rating that you can get, that means that you have the staffing and apparatus and equipment properly placed throughout your city. And so if your home, if your business was to catch on fire, the odds, the chances of your local fire department being able to put it out, suppress that fire before there is, major damage, the chances are high, right? Because you comply, because you have that equipment in place, the staffing in place, your response times are good. A department that is a lower classification of insurance service office, then that means that you may be a department of, just one, a couple of stations, or regardless of the amount of stations, you may not be placed properly. You may not have the amount of staffing necessary to effectively and safely, extinguish a fire. And so that's how the insurance service office dictates that if you are in a community where your fire department is a Class 1, then absolutely you're going to get the lowest possible insurance rates for your community in general, regardless if it is commercial or not.
They would cut us a break then, right?
Yeah.
Or potentially cut us a break.
That is correct.
That's interesting.
That is correct.
So when do we hit Class 1?
Well, hopefully sooner than later. We have been in conversations with our city manager, and we've been developing that plan, the strategic plan, to determine, the timeline and what are the things that we need to prioritize to try to get there.
My goodness. The way we're growing in the valley, the way we're growing in McAllen, it feels like whack-a-mole. We're still trying to catch up, I would imagine, because population growth is impressive.
Yeah.
How many more firefighters or ladder trucks do we need in order to hit that Class 1? Do you know?
Currently, we count with 2 ladder trucks that are fully staffed 24/7, one on the north side of McAllen and one on the south side of McAllen. That puts us right at the maximum credit compliance requirement for ISO. Of course, if we were to add a third one, of course that makes it even better. But we do have, when it comes to ladder trucks, we do have what is required so far for our community. But going back to Station 8, we have 8 fire engines now, and Think about 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Tres Lagos was nothing but open land. There is no real roads. There is no development. There was no construction there. And so even though we might have all that area within our city limits, it doesn't really affect you because you don't have that much infrastructure, homes, and value in place. Fast forward to now, 10, 15 years later, it's heavily populated, and so
you got a university,
and exactly,
nearby.
and so of course, that's the time in which it is very important that you have things in place, and a lot of people don't know, how expensive it is, and how long it can take a community to put together a new fire engine. This is literally a project that for the fire department started about 8 to 10 years ago. The foresight of our city leaders back then to make sure that we said, okay, by around 2024, 2025, we need to be ready.
So Isaac Tawil, our city manager, and all the gang at City Hall, they're running the numbers based on the rate of growth.
Correct.
And how close we are to get that Class 1 designation. They're probably running the numbers to figure out how many more personnel.
Correct. And one of the components of our city, one of our city departments is basically the long-term, strategic planning of the growth of our city. And that also assists us on determining what the priorities should be.
How many people you got on payroll? How many firefighters, personnel you got on payroll at
firefighters, uniform personnel, not counting me as the fire chief, we count with 181 staff.
Okay, so we need 200 in order to get to Class 1?
Not necessarily, because there is not a single route to get to Class 1.
You got to get equipment.
There is equipment. There is locations of fire stations. Some communities may want to even consider relocating a fire station from a current location to a new, more strategic, location for response.
You got an academy, like folks being trained right now to be a
fire. That is correct. Our fire department counts with his own training division under the leadership of Training Deputy Chief Philip Winger, and him and his staff are the ones that take all brand new candidates. They bring them in and they put them through the academy, which is about 9 to 10 months long. They come in off the street, and they come out certified as Texas firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and emergency driver operators for the fire apparatus.
What are the requirements, qualifications for somebody who wants to
you need to be between 18 and 35 years of age, high school diploma or GED, of course, U.S. citizen or legal resident. And that's basically it. I mean, there's
and in good physical shape,
of course. And so that's what I was going to say. We have different steps in the process. You start with your written exam, which is basically a general education type written exam. It's multiple choice, and some math, some scenarios, reading comprehension, things of that nature, mechanical aptitude, stuff like that. After you successfully complete and pass the written exam, then you go to a physical fitness assessment, which is very basic. It's a 1.5 mile run, a few push-ups, a few sit-ups, just to make sure that you have the aptitude for physical fitness. After that, there is a agility test, and then of course there is the background checks, a psychological exam, and a physical medical exam before you clear to start the academy.
Juan Gloria is our fire chief for the city of McAllen. These folks that are going to be graduating from the academy here pretty soon. You're going to start up another one here?
That is correct. So we have an academy that started about 8 months ago. Those fire cadets will be going to the trucks, hopefully here within the next month and a half or two. And we are in the process of starting another academy, a new batch of fire cadets here within the next couple of months as well, to continue that cycle of fulfilling all of the viable positions that we have approved in the fire department budget. And retirements always come around, and there's always a need for new firefighters to come and fill in the gap.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Chief.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Be safe, you and the crew.
Thank
Juan
you.
Gloria, our fire chief for the city of McAllen. Valley's Morning News, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. The Trump administration is pausing student visa interviews. U.S. embassies and consular offices being ordered to put a hold on scheduling any new interviews. Potential college students headed to the U.S. will undergo greater scrutiny when it comes to social media.
President Trump's crackdown on international students is intensifying, his administration ordering embassies to stop interviews for student visas. as the State Department prepares for an expanded social media screening for applicants.
That's reporter Gabe Gutierrez with NBC. And McDonald's, Madones, announcing most of their U.S. restaurants will have extended hours for summer, Freddie. Vast majority of the menu will be available, all depending on the franchise owner. So they'll be working up to about midnight or past midnight at the Madones.
So what you're saying is the wife can get a second job.
Well, why does it have to be the wife?
Well, because I had to wake up early to come to work here.
Yeah,
so.
well, we're not working.
Well, and she has summers off. So.
Yeah, because you're the husband of a teacher. New study found that stress from work could be affecting your dog. Research shows that dog owners who stress about work, the dogs also show sign of stress. Cats? No, not so much. They don't care. You die in front of them from work-related stress, they'll probably eat you. Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports up next.
Stop by Hess Fitness Products at 3501 North 10th Street in McAllen, where you can touch and feel the difference of fitness equipment that's designed to move with a human body. Equipment you'll look forward to using in your next workout. For over 44 years, Hess has handpicked the best manufacturer with the best warranties in the industry. They've got experienced fitness consultants. Edgar Santana, store manager, and his team can help you select the right equipment for your body type and your goals. Hess Fitness Products. Go to HessFitness.com. Look better, feel better, do more.
If you've been in a car accident, then you better get ready for a fight. You need a force for justice. The J. Gonzalez Law Firm. No other law firm in the Valley has more offices, more resources, and reaches more people every day for over 20 years, fighting for the people of the Valley. 1-800-CAR-CRUSH. The J. Gonzalez Law Firm. A force for justice.
The rental team at ASCO is ready to help you find the right equipment to do the job. For over 65 years, we've dedicated ourselves to supporting you with fast service and reliable equipment. Choose from daily, weekly, or long-term rental options to fit your project's needs. Buy it, rent it, support it. We're on it at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com for your next equipment rental. That's ASCOEQ.com.
Alzheimer's disease affects more than 6 million Americans, and nearly 2/3 are women. Hi, I'm Cherie Sample Hughes, Chair for Women in Government. Alzheimer's disease progresses slowly over 10 to 20 years in stages. A timely diagnosis may allow for more options and bring new hope. This May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Talk to your doctor if you notice any memory or thinking issues in yourself or a loved one. Find more information at womeningovernment.org.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez starting at 9, followed by the Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Pottermy app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute. Stars might have played their best hockey game last night in the Western Conference Final.
It's a Granlund. Harley Robertson in the slot, he scores! Jason Robertson! A power play goal in a 1-1 game.
Unfortunately, that was the closest they got to winning as they lost 4-1. Stars have a must-win game Thursday night at 7. And Astros get some big bats going in keeping the win streak alive last night.
Not going. Here's the pitch. And that one's driven to left center field. Hit very well. Denzel Clark back. Looks up. That's high. And that's gone! Another homer for Altuve. Scorching hot.
His second multi-homer game in the last 6 days.
Astros win 11-1 and play again today at 1. And the Rangers get their first win of the Blue Jays series 2-0 and play tonight at 7. I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Report.
AccuWeather says rain. Plenty of it in the forecast. We got some very strong thundershower activity. Mid-portion and northern portions of Hidalgo County, starting from Edinburgh North. We got rain, Willacy County, Raymondville. Just go check it out. Go find yourself that Brownsville radar. Go to the AccuWeather site. Go to KURV.com if you wish. So rain in the forecast for today. And we're almost done with this round, but rain will remain in the forecast for a few days as well. Highs today should be upper 80s, low 90s. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Again, go to our website, and at KURV.com, right-hand margin, you'll see the wait times headed back to the U.S. Let's get the update for Brownsville. How you doing, Brownsville? It is 45 minutes to an hour. B&M, Gateway, and the Veterans Bridge. And for McAllen, any traffic headed back to McAllen, about 30 to 45 minutes at all three bridges. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News, business news check of your money. That's up next. Dale Johnson, his entire team, my dear friend Dale Johnson, brother in Christ. I love this dude. Dale Johnson and his entire expert team of roofers, commercial roofers, the top roofers in commercial properties all across South Texas. They have locked arms, joined forces with the biggest, most reputable group in roofing that you can find anywhere. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. These good folks at Chamberlain, those hammers are flying all over South Texas. They're part of some very big projects, and they can be part of your project as well. Whether it's some patchwork headed into tropical season, you need that. I'm going to give you Dale Johnson, his personal cell number. Every day I say the phone number. It's his personal cell number. My friend Dale Johnson, who's a top commercial roofing expert. For your home, for your businesses. You got several buildings out there. Trust Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, state-of-the-art, cutting-edge roof installation, roof repair technology, and yes, waterproofing solutions that I know you need going into tropical season. So get it done. Start with a conversation with my friend Dale Johnson. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing brings 125 years plus of experience, an expanded menu of new services we haven't seen before, and of course the valued warranties that you expect. Dale Johnson is at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Start that conversation, get that free assessment, what's going on with your commercial properties, all of them. It's 956-655-6178. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is at chamberlainltd.com.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Nothing helps your children with life more than confidence. Confidence is what they need to excel in school, in sports, and even on the playground. And where does that confidence start? Right in your own backyard. At Backyards Unlimited, our big redwood tree frog play systems aren't just swing sets. They're confidence builders. Imagine your child conquering a rock wall or mastering the monkey bars. That feeling, it carries over into how they play, how they learn, and how they interact with other children. For a toddler, that rock wall isn't just fun. It's teaching balance, motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and critical thinking. Every climb, swing, and hang is helping your child grow stronger inside and out. So what are you waiting for? Give your kids a head start in life by giving them a backyard full of possibilities. At Backyards Unlimited, we have every style of swing set imaginable to help your kids' imagination run wild. Backyards Unlimited on the Expressway across from the Shrine in San Juan. Backyards Unlimited, where quality and service matter.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. British online lender Starling Bank, reported a sharp drop in annual profit, citing an issue with the COVID-era business loan fraud and a regulatory fine over financial crime failing. Starling posted profit that is down nearly 26% year over year. U.S.-based online brokerage Robinhood said it is expanding its desktop platform into the U.K. to extend its reach among retail investors looking for more sophisticated trading tools. The launch comes months after the company first unveiled the product for its U.S. customers. New orders for key U.S. manufactured capital goods plunged by the most in 6 months in April amid mounting uncertainty over the economy because of tariffs. The Commerce Department reports non-defense capital good orders, excluding aircraft, tumbled 1.3% last month. That was the largest drop since last October. Futures are currently mixed. Tuesday, the Dow Industrials gained 740, the NASDAQ up 461. That's your money now.
Yeah, that 2 bags fly free thing on Southwest, that ends today. AccuWeather says rain, thunderstorms in the forecast. Highs should be upper 80s, low 90s. Your station for AccuWeather and South Texas News Talk 710 KURV. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment waiting for you. I know we got a lot of dark clouds and thunder shower activity in North Edinburgh right now. They're waiting for you with some coffee, fresh, hot coffee this morning at Amigo Power Equipment, where they continue the celebration. Kubota Orange Days. Kubota is America's #1 selling compact tractor. And at Amigo Power Equipment, they've got all that Kubota equipment that you need, the versatile RTVs, the zero-turn mowers for your palatial estate, or all that acreage you got to mow. Amigo Power Equipment. Find the Kubota equipment that you need with great financing offers and also great savings. Kubota Orange Days at Amigo Power Equipment taking place. And these really nice folks at Amigo Power going to help you match that chore, that project that you have with the equipment that you need. And now at Amigo Power, between now and June 13th, you can get 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months if you qualify, or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors, Kubota compact tractors. You can get some more information at KubotaOrangeDays.com. Take a look at that menu. Celebrate Kubota Orange Days. Save big on the equipment you need at Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu, and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area, call 956-803-0058, and in Harlingen, 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
News Talk 710 KURV. News and weather information at your fingertips.
There was only one place to get the information I needed.
Log on to KURV.com.
This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Along with show producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nording saying, hey, take a look at that radar, see where all that nasty rain is headed right now. Midsection of Hidalgo County, Willacy County, Cameron County, Stark County. Go look at that. Go to KURV.com, check out the Brownsville radar or AccuWeather.com. News is a service of J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Interviews for new student and foreign exchange visas are on hold for now, and there will be more scrutiny of applicants' social media posts. State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce.
Every sovereign nation has a right to make sure that they know who's in their nation and if they are safe to be here, and for the people who want to come to understand that there are expectations when you get here so that we don't have to take your visa and remove you.
She was on Fox and Friends. A SpaceX Starship rocket makes it into orbit, but not back to Earth in one piece.
The 403-foot rocket blasted off from South Texas, then began spinning toward an uncontrolled landing in the Indian Ocean. SpaceX saying the spacecraft experienced, quote, a rapid, unscheduled disassembly. The previous 2 rockets never made it past the Caribbean.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, a stuck cargo door prevented a satellite deployment test. America's listening to Fox News.
In Austin, legislation that bans all products that contain THC for Texas is awaiting the governor's signature. The state Senate approved a House version of the bill this past weekend that will make possession of hemp products with THC carry a stricter penalty of up to 1 year in jail. Hidalgo School District has selected a finalist for its open superintendent position. It's a very familiar name for folks in McAllen and in Harlingen. The previous superintendent in the area, J.A. Gonzalez, again, the lone finalist for the Hidalgo School District superintendent job. How much should the state of Texas spend to entice Hollywood to make more movies and TV shows in Texas? The Texas House came in with a proposal that is $200 million short of what the Texas Senate is planning.
This is Make Texas Film Industry Great Again, Bill. Let's hear it.
State Rep Todd Hunter sponsored Senate Bill 22, which the House passed. It would infuse $300 million every other year for the next 10 years into the Texas Moving Image Industry Incentive Fund. The original bill passed by the Senate called for $500 million. State Senator Joan Huffman says the fund's financial reimbursement is up to the governor's office.
And may deny an application because of inappropriate content or content that portrays Texas or Texans in a negative fashion.
The House and Senate will have to hash out their differences in conference committee. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And we cheer on a local Huerquillo, a precious Huerquillo. Caleb Guiocco from Edinburgh South Middle School has advanced to the quarterfinals of the Scripps National Spelling Bee up in Maryland. Boy, that kid's far from home, so go Huerquillo. Go win it all. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Again, AccuWeather says shower, thunder shower activity this morning. We should clear it. It still remains in the forecast, so join us for conversations with AccuWeather 8 minutes after the hour, 7 and 8 in the morning on the Valley's Morning News. Also join us at Radio Para Mí. Download that free app.
The City of McAllen is thrilled to offer your business an opportunity to apply for a matching grant of up to $15,000. The Refresh 50/50 grant was designed with your business in mind. Apply for the Refresh 50/50 grant to upgrade your storefront with improvements like new paint, signage, landscaping, art, lights, doors, and more. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity and apply today at www.refresh5050.com. The Refresh 50/50 grant is brought to you by the City of McAllen. Hablamos Español.
It is a very loving thing to do for your immediate family, much like you prepare life insurance and you speak with financial advisors to make sure that all your assets in your estate, everything is properly distributed and taken care of, and you have these funds that are protected to make sure not even the government takes away from you, right? Make sure to protect your family's wealth, to protect your family. Pre-planning and prepaying a funeral event. Yes, I know it's pretty heavy stuff for breakfast right now, but I want to let you know again, my mom and dad, they pre-planned and prepaid an event that we all know it's around the corner. There's a day. Everybody's got an expiration date. And the immediate family, the kids, the wife, the husband, immediate family, the parents, they're the ones that are dealing with that loss. And it's just, the burden is heavier, a lot heavier, if there's a lot of planning, a lot of decisions that need to be made, and of course, a big check that needs to be written at a time when you just want to be, alone with your thoughts and with your family and just, So ease that burden for your immediate family. Pre-plan, prepay. A message from my friends Mark and Carla McCaleb from the McCaleb Funeral Home Clan in Weslaco. 60 plus years of loving on Valley families in that time of separation and stress. Try to alleviate as much of the stress as you can. So pre-plan and prepay with my friends and family over the McCaleb Funeral Home. Carla McCaleb is her name. She or the family, they will come to you. Someone will come to you wherever you are and help make all these decisions. 956-650-2841. That is Carla's personal cell number, 956-650-2841.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it